Now to my very good friend, Djenne Ba, who's one of my favorite astrologers. I've known her, when I met her for lifetimes, I said, so I'm so happy she's here. She really is a great student of astrology, studied many, many systems. So Djenne Ba, welcome back to the prediction show. What's going on? Tell us. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, let there be light. Let there be light. Genesis 1:3. I wanted to sing a mantra to activate that.
Please. We need to pick it up a little bit and bring some for that joy that you're carrying with you.
Yeah, the Gayatri mantra.
Okay.
Which is a famous mantra by Vishwamitra, the saint. And it goes Om Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devas Yadimahi Dio Yona Pracholayatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
It's a good beginning prayer for beginnings.
It's a good mantra. You know that is chanted in the mornings at sunrise, and it's very empowering. And about a couple of months ago, I woke up early in the morning, and I believe an angel whispered in my ear, "Let there be light. Let there be light. Let there be light," 3 times.
Wow.
And ever since that, I have been looking at things and experiencing things in a different way. In fact, I was meditating, and it was said to me that astrology, the study of astrology, or astrology, is equal to E = MC square.
Explain that.
Well, because of the energy equals of the mass, the matter, times the light squared, and E = MC squared. And because we have the embodiment of the light, and in Vedic astrology, the planets and the stars are considered as the lights. And we receive this light, and we have light within us. And so when we study the stars and the heavens, and activate that energy within us, to me, it was revealed that E = MC squared, that this is what the study of astrology is.
Great. So what do you see coming for us on the planet Earth?
Well, let me share. I want to share my screen.
Let me make you let me make you a co-host here to share your screen. Good. I'm glad you're going to share some charts with us here.
I'm going to show you I hope if I can figure this out.
Okay, now you're a co-host. You can share your screen.
Share my screen.
At the bottom. Good. We wanted to see some charts. People are asking about charts, and we'll also take questions from the group chat after.
Let me try to figure this out because
okay, now you are sharing your screen. Now you just have to pull up your presentation.
Okay.
There it goes.
So what I did is I like to cast the chart for the new year, and I know I usually would cast it for New York if I was in New York, but because there's so much political stuff happening in the nation's capital, I cast this chart for the New Year's at sunrise. And the official time is 7:27 a.m., but I bounce it up to 7:32 a.m., 5 minutes, when it actually rises above the horizon.
Right.
And so when we look at this chart, we can see that Capricorn is on the ascendant right here, rising. And we see this is the first house, and it's full with Venus, Pluto, Mercury, and Saturn. And so, it's just showing me that things are going to be very visible, what's going on in this country, especially on the political side, because as a few astrologers mentioned, the Pluto return. What was happening when this country was formed? and the whole slavery.
Yeah.
And the connection to the suppression of voting and what's happening right now and what happened on the Capitol last year on this exact date.
Right.
So to me, that's a whole embodiment of this Pluto return, because America is still dealing with the race issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, you know, right here, I feel like I may be preaching to the choir, because
that's
I
okay.
This
will go out to other people, but this is what's all happening in the first house, you're saying here?
I'm saying that we have Venus,
yeah.
Pluto, Mercury, and Saturn, which gives a lot of activity as far as how the world is looking at us and what America is putting out to the world. You know, and there's going to be a lot of changes, because when we look to the fourth house, we see Uranus at home in the fourth house. So things are going to be shooken up. Also, when we look at the second house, because the Aries, this is how we assert ourselves in the world. The first house is Aries. You go to the second house and we have Taurus. And we can see Jupiter here, 0 degrees. It just went into Pisces. And we have Neptune here also for the financial piece. So there's going to be some expansion for our comforts and stuff. But with the Neptune here, everything isn't going to seem as appear as it may seem. We're talking about, you know, smoke and mirrors.
Right.
So we have the sun and the moon in the 12th house. And so for me, when I break this down, I want to tell you that we have 2 planets in fire. That's the moon and Mars in Sag. We have 2 planets in water, Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces. We have 1 planet in air, which is Saturn in Aquarius right here. And then we have 4 planets in Earth. And that's the stellium right here of Capricorn. Okay. And so what I do is I take the highest elements. So we have 2 planets in fire, 2 planets in water, 1 planet in air, and 5 planets in Earth. And so that's given us a dominant of Earth. That's half of the planets being in Earth signs. And so that means that when we're talking about the ecology and what's happening with what we're doing with our food, it's going to be very significant this coming year. Also, I wanted to address 2022, because we have all these 2s. And in the system that I study, 2 is the number for the goddess Isis. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And she's the divine mother. She's nurturing. She's nurturing with her breast, you know, her son Heru, which was immaculately conceived via spirit. And she rules over all the sciences. So this energy is very powerful for this year. So when you take 2 and you have a Virgo energy in the system that I use, 2 is the number for Virgo, which is dealing with polarity, opposites. So there's going to be a lot, you know, trying to get that balance of the polarity that's going on. And then when you add another 2, you have 4. And 4 makes it Scorpio. And so that Scorpio energy is going to be very dominant this year as in last year. And Scorpio is dealing with your ancestors, and it's also dealing with death. So that, for me, is showing the pandemic energy is still going to be, you know, we're still going to be riding the wave of that. But then when you add this third 2, you come to 6. And I hope you can just stay with me with the interweaving of the astrology and the numerology.
You got it. Go ahead. Keep going. Yeah.
Okay, so the 6, we get the planet Venus. And so Venus, you know, our love energy, the female energy, because if we want a plug, you know, I'm an esoteric astrologer. And if we want to plug into our spiritual side, we have to do it through the female energy side. And so the female energy is dominating this year very strongly. I was one of the other speakers, you were talking about the spiritual aspect of all of this. It's like, this is a Virgo is also ruling with health. And so dealing with your health and your heart chakra is how you can keep on top of things and move forward in 2022. I definitely want to say that, so we have the goddess energy of Isis. We have the goddess energy of Ma'at, who, let me see if I have her. I can't, this is hiding my,
just,
let me see. Yes, we have the goddess energy of Ma'at, and her feather of truth, justice, and righteousness. When in the afterlife, your heart is put on the scale so that your heart balances, which means taking things lightly. You can't take all your anger and your hatred, and that all this polarity that is going on politically. And so the key thing is, you definitely got to nurture the inner life, and that is how you will ascend all of this madness that's going on. Because just for me, and looking at the political situation, the race issue in America, because that, of course, which is so deep in the South, how all this legislation in 29 states, they're doing voter suppression laws that affect people of color, not just Black people, but Latino people, Asian people, Native American people, because we have people who are not ready for the changing of the race, the predominance of the white male society is resisting. That's why the 45th president, 45, because Obama was 44, I don't say his name. So 45, he appointed, I believe, up to 200 federal judges. So when all of these cases go into court looking for justice, we're going to have these conservatives on these courts. And so this is very significant to understand of how people who are carrying the Confederate flag are resistant for people of color to get their power in this country. And it's inevitable. They've already predicted by 2030, that people of color are the predominant race in this country. And people just don't want to talk about that. So
that something will change either one way or the other, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it has to change, but I'm just saying in 2022, we're up for a big fight because this racial piece has not been resolved. And, because when we look at it, Black people, slaves were considered 3/5 of a human being, and they were property. And, there's certain people who still believe that. Now, I can tell you, I was in the South in the 80s, and I was in Virginia Beach at the Edgar Cayce Center. And I was at a hotel in a swimming pool, and a woman grabbed her kids out of the pool and said that I was poisoned. She didn't want her kids swimming in the pool with me. Wow. And so you're looking at, so many situations where people, this race issue, they think they're better when we come down to it, we're all one. Exactly. And so this is why the heart chakra has to be healed. And to me, the heart chakra is the answer to every problem on this planet. Healing of the heart chakra.
So do you think this year we'll have a chance to work through that? Is that what this year, 2022, is about with the...
I'm saying that for my interpretation as an esoteric astrologer, it says that the people should have that intention if we want to rise above what happened a year ago at the Capitol.
Yes. Thank you. I think, but at least the people here, I think, have that intention. So,
yes. I just want to say that I do have a lot of people who claim to so-called spiritual people. I do want to say that. I call them the wannabes.
Yeah.
That voted for Trump. Oh my God, I said his name. Who voted for 45.
Okay.
So I'm just saying that, how can you claim to have a spiritual mindset and vote for 45 is very contradictory, very hypocritical, and outrageous. I call them the wannabe, the people who want to be spiritual, but they really have no clue.
Right. But what do you see coming for this year? What do you see? I mean, there's, yes, political battles, voter. I mean, what do you see anything good coming out of this time of transformation?
Yeah, for me, when you ask that question, you know, taking it on a personal level, I take it for, it's the inner. It's that we who care must go within to raise our vibrational frequency. That those who really care, is on us to raise the vibrational frequency and really examine how we are treating people in our lives.
Right.
So to me, it's a lot of inner growth, because I said, as long as you meditate and align with the female energy and invoke these goddesses, like I said, the 222 is very powerful, but it's going to be a hell of a year.
Right. No, it is. But I think all the issues are coming to the surface, you know?
Yes.
So,
yes.
Anyway, you're looking beautiful there.
Thank you. Thank you, Alan. You're looking good too. Everybody's looking good. Happy New Year. I wanted to finish my analysis of the planets again, because I heard us mention the purple.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go back. Astrology is the embodiment of E = MC squared. And okay, so I was saying that I broke down the elements. The predominant element is Earth. So then when we look at the qualities of cardinal, fixed, and mutables, we have 4 planets in cardinal, which is Capricorn, which means that initiates, because the cardinal signs initiate the seasons, okay? Capricorn initiates winter. Water, we got Cancer initiating summer. Aries initiates spring. I skipped that. And then we have Libra initiating fall. So those are the signs that initiate. So we take the highest number. We have 4 cardinal, 2 fixed signs, and then we have 4 mutable. So that equals the 10. And so we take the highest quality. So there's 4, which is cardinal is Capricorn. And then we take the element, which is there's 5 earth signs. And so cardinal earth is Capricorn, which again, you know, the themes repeat, gives us the goddess Ma'at. And, you know, that's the winter, because winter, at the winter solstice, when we go within, you know, they say the Capricorns are cold because that's the initiation of winter. But it's also going within and listening to your heart and what it's telling you. And so that's a very powerful message. But again, we have mutable, 4 mutable Earth. And
you're talking about the chart that you did at the beginning, right? The chart of the new year.
Yes, the planetary placements. Planetary placements.
Right.
So when you look at the mutable, is also, there's 4 mutable, and mutable Earth is Virgo. So again, it's just like when you look at a chart, certain themes repeat. And the Virgo energy, Virgo rules health. Virgo rules healing. What are you putting in your body? Just like she was saying, in the energy work. And so to me, if you focus on improving your health, get a spiritual practice, meditate, listen to your heart chakra, that you will make bounds and leaps in 2022. And a color, she mentioned color. So the color for Virgo, the nurturing mother, is what I call royal purple. We're talking about a deep purple, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury. And Virgo rules 2 signs, Gemini and Virgo. Gemini is the day sign of Virgo. Excuse me, Gemini is the day sign ruled by Mercury, and Virgo is the night sign. Virgo rules inner vision, okay? That night vision. And so that's very significant also as far as listening to your dreams. And so we're looking at, as far as wearing colors, I call it royal purple, or having those, burning those candles, having that fabric color on your altar, very healing.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Djenne Ba, yes. Yeah, please.
Yeah, I wanted to comment on the Pluto energy, that it has two sides to it. It has the highest and the lowest, of the highest spiritual energy when it comes to transformation, and the lowest energy when it comes to like gangsters and thugs.
Yes.
And so it's like, whose side are you going to vibrate and resonate with of the Plutonian energy? Which energy frequency do you want to plug into? That's number one. Number two, regarding eclipses. I started studying eclipses, I don't know, over 20 something years ago. And they can definitely, if they are on a planet in your chart, specifically Mars, you will die if that eclipse. I have actually documented 12 people who have died because of an eclipse being on one of their planets. And Frank Sinatra was one of them, I believe. But a person came to me for a consultation on a Tuesday or a Wednesday night, and the eclipse was going to be on Saturday. This was over 20 something years ago. And I told her, I said, it was on her Mars. I said, slow down. You need to slow down and take it easy. And she had 2 children, and she was a teacher, and she was a workaholic, and she didn't slow down. She went to work that Saturday as a fundraiser for her school. She came home that night, laid down, and never got up. And the eclipse was exactly on her Mars. So eclipse, just because you were saying, Alan, you want to know a little bit more how eclipses
Eclipses really can zap our energies, and we really have to be.
If they specifically hit a planet in your chart, you're going to feel it. It's just like Mercury retrograde. I do want to say it is going retrograde on the 14th this month. Mm-hmm. And my solar return is on the 13th. And yay! I want to say that I'm just put my website up. It's still in
tell people how to find you too for private sessions and all that, Djenne Ba.
Yes, I just put my website up, and it's because I had one and I didn't have one for a long time because it's houseofcosmicenergy.com. And it's evolving. It's just the beginning. I have a lot of stuff to go up, but I just forced myself that I got it out today. And so if anybody's interested, you just go to a contact, and then you can, I'll get back in touch with you.
Houseofcosmicenergy.com. Okay.
Houseofcosmicenergy.com. And I just want to say, and it's just the beginning. So it's not really developed all the way. I just want to say that it's been a pleasure and a joy of being here with all your lovely people.
It's great to have you back with us.
Especially the men.
But it's great to have you back on the panel. You were a star a couple of years ago at the Open Center. I'm glad you were able to come back here. And you're also an expert in Black women archetypes, right? Do you have anything you want to say?
Yes. I just, the Black Goddess Archetypes revealed through African mythology and astrology. I've been working on this for a while. That's why I incorporated the goddess Isis and the goddess Ma'at, and I'll be delving more into that. Also, if you're interested, one of my specialties is astrocartography, which I call the science of relocation. I actually studied with Jim Lewis. I was the last group to study with him in Berkeley. I live in Berkeley, California. I was with the last group to study with Jim Lewis before he left the planet. So that was in the early 90s. So if you're interested, if you're thinking about relocating, I'm doing a workshop. I haven't decided the date, but it's going to be soon, where you take your chart and the astrocartography and see where your powers points are around the world, and show you how to recast the relocated charts. You can see where you need to be, because, just like the realtors say, location is everything, and it works. I'm telling you, it works.
You are an expert in astrocartography, which is great. So you'll get their chart done and you'll analyze it. So we just have to find. But
I'm going to do a group. I'm going to do like a webinar, a seminar, where we're going to have a group of people where I'm going to show how to use your chart. Because I keyed this phrase years ago. The greatest astrology is married to astrocartography. That's the biggest kept secret. Astrology and astrocartography are married.
Right. They need each other. It's true. You can't, your astrology only works in the better places to live. I know when you're.
No, but whenever you move from your birthplace, you got to cast a relocated chart to see what's up.
Right. Well, okay. Thank you all for the time you put into making this another New Realities predictions for the New Year event. I'm really excited that we're able to deliver this. And I think it's hopeful. I mean, the last 2 years, I do see movement this year. I see a kind of opening passage that we might be entering a whole new world. And, you know, we still have a little bit up until April to work through, but then I think things open up. And I think personally, for some people, things open up, and it's a time for creativity, building one's energetic body and awakening the mind. So thank you all for being tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love.
One love, as Djenne Ba says. Thank you.
Right.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you
See you
so much.
soon.
Alan,
Oh,
thank you, everybody.
I am doing a panel, a walk-in conference this weekend, Portal to Ascension. Go to Portal to Ascension and join us for the walk-in conference. That is January 8th and 9th. See you there, and keep watching New Realities. Thank you, everybody, for being here.